Hello, I'm Johnny Hazel, and today we're going to review the STARR program. So I've done quite a few variants. You might want to check all these variant videos out. You can find them in the description box below. So the first thing we're going to do is have a look at the introduction overview page. So I will not spend too much time on this because a lot of it is self-explanatory. So the program for STARR is in general a 3-day routine, okay, and you have a heavy, light and medium day. The intensity is determined by three things. Firstly, the percentage of the 5 rep max, the percentage you lift. So on the heavy day you will ramp up normally to a 5 rep max, or it's 80% of that top set on Monday, or 90% on that top set on Monday. Alternatively, it could be down to the exercise you use. For example, a behind the neck press is used on a light day, a bench is on a heavy day, and a strict overhead press is on a medium day. It could also be as a result of the rep scheme that you use. For example, 5 sets of 3 is a great light day rep scheme. 5 sets of 5 is good for a heavy day, as with 5 sets of 10, which is not in there right now. Let's just put that in, because it's brutal. That's why I'm leaving it out. The weekly increment, now that is basically how much weight you add to the bar for your top set on Monday each week throughout the duration of the program. And remember, this is a linear program, and by that I mean the progression is determined by the weight added to the bar each week, and it's a fixed amount. It's not designed in a block or mesocycle, microcycle, macrocycle. It's a very basic linear style training program. Here are some notes. You can read those yourself. They're pretty self-explanatory. Here are some exercise tutorial videos. If you do not know how to do any of these exercises, I highly advise that you watch the videos first. For example, the shrugs are not your traditional barbell bodybuilding style shrugs. These are slightly different. You want to watch that video if you don't know what I'm talking about. Also, the behind the neck press is an exercise you need to make sure you have the technique right. I do not buy into the mass hysteria that it's a dangerous exercise. It is absolutely fundamentally not. It's only dangerous because 90% of the people out there are complete idiots and they don't look into the exercise first and learn how to do it. So they just assume you merely just do the opposite of a front press, which is like a strict overhead press, and they give it a go and they end up injuring themselves because they didn't apply any technique to it. So this is taken directly from the Strongest Shall Survive 1976 STARR book, and it explains why he omits the deadlift. The thing I must say about this program is it is not designed for a powerlifter or an Olympic lifter or a weightlifter at all. Okay, this program was designed for college and high school football players and American football players. Okay, so it wasn't designed for weightlifters. So from STARR's perspective, the deadlift is a high risk exercise. There's a lot of dangers with the exercise. Most injuries are as a result of the deadlift. So he strongly believes that there are alternatives out there that are less dangerous, like the power cleans, the high pulls, the shrugs, the snatches, these exercises from Olympic lifting that are more beneficial and less risky than the deadlift. Okay, and he strongly believes in that, to the point that you will never find a deadlift in a true STARR program. He just doesn't program it. It's not in there. You must remember as well, this program was written for athletes. Okay, they're not powerlifters. They don't have to worry about being proficient at the deadlift and training the deadlift. That's why, for me, the reason why I think the deadlift is one of those exercises that you can leave out, or you don't need to train with great frequency, is because the deadlift is highly taxing on your central nervous system. Now, that's not a bro science fact. That's 100% the truth. You know, since I was diagnosed, I had COVID and recovered since that. I had some pretty bad long COVID syndrome, and that affected my central nervous system. And every time I deadlifted, I spent the next 14 days basically comatose in a state of constant fatigue. So I can tell you straight up that the deadlift is incredibly taxing on the central nervous system. Maybe not for everyone, but definitely for most people. So it is definitely an exercise you want to be careful of, and it isn't necessarily something you 100% need to program. There are other pulling exercises, compound pulling exercises, that can provide the same strength benefits as a deadlift without all the risk and all the central nervous system fatigue. So anyway, there we go. That's that reason. That will explain that. Let's move on to the program now. Okay, so now let's start with the STARR 4-day advanced program. Now, this is a program probably better suited to a later stage intermediate advanced lifter. It's still a linear program rather than a block style training program. Some people like to do this, and it's a bit of a myth that the more advanced of a lifter you are, the less likely you're going to be when following a linear periodized program. That's a myth. You can still, as an advanced lifter, follow a linear program such as this and add to your PRs and become stronger. So let's get started. First thing you're going to do is come over to the 1 rep max column, enter your 1 rep maxes in the yellow highlighted cells. The ones that are not highlighted yellow, there's already a formula in there that calculates that for you. You can see by just clicking on it what it actually means. Okay, for example, the front squat is 50% your back squat. You can see that the incline press is 80% of your bench press. You can see that the power clean is 56% of your deadlift. The pendlay row is 50% of your deadlift, and the shrug is 2 times what you can do for a power clean. And the deadlift is your deadlift. And then it calculates the 5 rep max for you, and you'll get some sort of idea of what you're going to add to your 5 rep max, but that's not really 100% representative of what you probably will do. But you will definitely add to your 5 rep max in some way for sure for all these lifts. So the rounding, it's 2.5 for the kilogram sheet. It is 5 pounds for it's 5 for the pound sheet. Now the pressing increment, I keep it at about 2.5 or 5 pounds for all pressing exercises. That's the bench, that's the incline, the behind the neck press, the strict overhead press. You can change that if you want. The squat and pulling exercises being the power clean, the shrug, the deadlift, high pulls, anything where you're pulling weight. That I keep at about 5 kilograms, 10 pounds. You can maybe reduce that or increase that. That's up to you, but you can keep it at this. Probably more realistic not to increase it but actually decrease it, depending on how advanced of a lifter you are. So Monday is your, well, we don't really have the heavy, light, medium day structure anymore, because firstly we're doing 4 days a week now, and also this is an advanced program, so we can't really follow that more simplistic framework anymore. So Monday is just Monday. This is a 6-week program, by the way. Monday you're going to start with your warm-up routine. Whatever you like to do, you can do that, or you can stick to this prescribed warm-up routine. The bench press, the power clean, and the back squat is your main core lifts for this session, and then you have 2 hypertrophy exercises to finish the session with. So with the bench press, your top heavy set is highlighted in bold right here. Okay, the week 1, the weight is your 5 rep max, which is up here, and that is how you calculate that. The first 3 sets of 5 are what we call ramping sets. It is a percentage of your top heavy set weight. As you can see here, it's 85% of our top heavy set weight, and then 90%, you can see the percentage right here, and then we do 95%. Now for the top heavy set, you're going to do 3 reps instead of 5. The reason being is because you're going to do an additional 2 sets of 3 where you increase the weight each set by your pressing increment stated here. So as you can see, we go 37, 37.5, and then we go 40. And then you do 1 back off set of 8 to 10 reps using the weight you did for the 3rd set, the final set of 5 reps that you did that day. Right, pretty simple there. And then each week you just increase the top heavy set weight by the pressing increment. It will do it automatically for you, and all the other numbers will adjust accordingly based on that top heavy set weight. So the power clean, you're actually going to do 5 sets of 5. The top heavy set weight is your 5 rep max on week 1, and the first 4 sets are ramping sets. As you can see, it's a percentage of C32, which is this cell right here, your top heavy set. You do 80, 85, 90, 95, and then your top heavy set. Each week you add 5 kilograms, 10 pounds, whatever your pulling increment is stated up here. So for the back squat, it is 5 sets of 10. This is a very heavy workout. It's 50 reps you're going to be doing. There's a big tonnage going on here. So the top heavy set weight is 70% of your back squat. That's a good sort of estimate of what you can do for your 10 rep max on your back squat. Now you can reduce that, you can increase that. I would highly not advise increasing it. If anything, I might change that to 60-65%. So first set, 70% of your top heavy set weight. Then you do 8, then 75, 80, and then 90, and then boom, hit that top heavy set weight. So there we go, quite simple. Then you do 2 hypertrophy exercises for 3 sets of 20 reps. You add weight each week in a linear progression here. You add about 5 kg, 10 pounds, in that sort of range each week when you do these exercises. But when you do these exercises on this day, right here, on the Thursday, for example, you keep the same weight you did on the Monday. Okay, so don't increase it for the Thursday workout, keep it the same. Tuesday, start with your warm-up, and then you've got just 2 exercises and 1 hypertrophy exercise. Strict press. We apply the exact same rep scheme as we did for the bench press. 3 sets of 5, 3 sets of 3, 1 set of 8 to 10. Nothing changes there. The pressing increment remains the same because it's the same as the bench press. These are both pressing exercises, so it's 2.5. Each week you add 2.5 to the top heavy set for the strict overhead press. So, pretty simple. It's the exact same concept as here, so I'm not going to just explain the exact same thing again I just explained. So the high pull is slightly different. We do 2 ramping sets, then we do our top heavy set weight, which is, for me, it's 90% of our 5 rep max for the power clean. I think that that's a good reflection of what your high pull should be. And then you add, for the final 2 sets of 5, you add the pulling increment weight, this weight right here, for each set, so the weight gets increasingly heavier each set for those final 2 sets. So you can see it's gone up by 5 kilograms for there, and then you add 5 kilograms for the top heavy set 120. I like this rep scheme for the high pulls. Finish with your toe raises or standing calf raises, whatever you want to call them. 3 sets of 30 each week. Try to add about 5 kilograms, maybe 10 kg, 20 pounds, in that sort of range, whatever works for you. So next one is on Thursday, we're going to do the incline press following the exact same rep scheme as we did for the strict and the bench press. 3 sets 5, 3 sets 3, 1 back offset. Everything is the exact same. First 3 sets is a percentage of the top heavy set weight here. Second 2 sets of 3 are going to be increasing each set by 2.5 kg, your pressing increment, or 5 pounds. And then the final set is your back offset. It's the weight you lifted for your 3rd set that day of 5 reps. It's the exact same, but this time you're going to push it a little bit harder and try and get 8 to 10 reps. So the front squat is different than the other squat exercises we did on Monday. We're actually going to do 5 sets of 3. Top heavy set weight, we already know it's stated up in the top. First 4 sets are ramping sets. We're going to do 70% of our top heavy set weight, 80, 90, 95, and then boom. So for this exercise, you can add 5 kilograms each week for your front squat, or 10 pounds, until you max out on the final week. So there we go. The pendolero is the final exercise of the day. The pulling exercise, the final main lift. Yeah, we know the top heavy set weight already because it's stated right here. So we know it. It's there. It's already outlined for us. The first 4 sets are ramping sets. And then each week you add 5 kg, 10 pounds until you finish the program. That should be achievable. Leg extension and leg curls are the hypertrophy exercises of the day. Do what weight you did on Monday. Do not increase it. So, final day of the week training session. Bench press, squat, back squats. We're going to do 5 sets of 5 plus 1 set of 10 if you can. This is optional, right? This final set of 10. You don't need to necessarily do that. If you feel like you can, go for it. So, top heavy set weight, we already know it's our 5 rep max weight all the way up here. First 4 sets are ramping sets, 80, 85, 90, 95% of the top heavy set weight. And the set of 10 is your 3rd set weight. Easy. Each week you add 2.5 kilograms, 5 pounds, or whatever your pressing increment is until you finish the program. Power shrugs, slightly different. 5 sets of 5, but we do not start with our 5 rep max weight. what we do is we actually start with the weight that is about 10 kilograms or 20 pounds lighter than our 5 rep max weight, simply because the shrugs are very heavy exercises. This is what Bill Starr said. Probably not a good idea to start with that heavyweight week 1. So what we do is we actually hit our 5 rep max weight in week 4 in this case. Okay, as you can see, C9, C9. Each week before that, you just do 5 kilograms less than that. So as you can see, we've just reduced the weight by our pulling increment weight, 5 kilograms or 10 pounds right here. And then we reduce it for the next week by another 5 kg 10 pounds, and then another 5 kg 10 pounds. So we're starting actually quite significantly less than what I initially said, 10 kilograms. You start with 227.5 instead of 242.5. I think that's a pretty good idea. You don't want to pull any trap muscles, have any upper back pains, because if you do too heavy on this, it will affect possibly come next week, week 2, your pressing or your power clean. So you don't really want to max this out, this exercise here. This is really, I would say, more supplementary to your core pulling exercise, which in this case is the power clean. So I wouldn't really overthink the shrugs too much. So the back squat, we do 5 sets of 5 and 1 back off set for 10 reps. We already know our 5 rep max weight because it's already stated up at the top. That's what we do for week 1. And the first 4 sets are ramping sets. Each week you add 5 kilograms or 10 pounds. The toe raises, you use the same weight as when you last did this exercise that week, which in this case is Tuesday. Okay, you increase the weight for the following week's session. Done. Pretty simple. Not much else to really say about that. It's a linear program, so you don't really need to have an advanced degree in biophysics to really understand this program. But it is highly effective, and as I said before, you got a pounds and a kilogram spreadsheet, whatever one works for you. If you have any questions, you can comment below, or you can contact me through my website or on Instagram. You can download this program from my website, which is pretty easy to do. It's not too difficult. If you haven't seen any of my other tutorial reviews for any of these spreadsheets, you can always check that out in the description below. There's a link to the tutorial videos on these in case you want to try these programs out. So good luck with the program. If you enjoyed this channel, if you enjoyed the video so far, don't forget to click that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you can keep up to date with all my very unique Johnny Hazel variant program reviews, and it will definitely be worth catching up every week because I'm going to try and release a new one each week, and it could be worth clicking that subscribe button. So thanks for watching, have a great day, and good luck with the program.